Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I am doing a classic old pumpkin for my last Halloween look of this year. This year has been crazy. We're not gonna get into it, but we're gonna get straight into the video. So, to prep everything, I started out with the brow block. I didn't want my brow hairs to, stand out, and since they're very thick, I decided to go for this Schwarzkopf glue. I've never used it, so I was kind of experimenting with it right then and there, but then I realized I feel like one coat is enough because it's very sticky. I feel like it's a lot stickier than a glue stick, so highly recommend. I use the classic, RCMA no color powder. You know what I'm doing. And for the nude eyeliner, this is by a brand called Gosh, and I just decided to kind of trace where I wanted to do the thing. I knew I wanted to do a pumpkin, but I had no idea what I wanted to do, so I kind of did that, but ended up doing something a little bit more different towards the end. You're gonna see. And I also decided to try the Schwarzkopf glue on my baby hairs that would never stick. I have like those 3 little baby hairs that are growing back, and it just really bugs me because it always gets into the paint. I highly recommend this because it didn't even flake off until like the next day after I had already slept in this, and then it started to look like flaky and like I really had glue there. So I highly recommend this. Anyway, for the paints, you know how it is. I've been using and I've been loving the Mehron Paradise AQ paints, and I'm just using, to be honest, I'm just using a very old liner brush. Like, it's just grab any brush that you can, that you find. A lot of my brushes were dirty, so I was quite lazy and I just found what I could, but I wanted to show you what I could do with just a few little things, really. I mean, they're not that few, but you know what I mean. Anyway, right there you see me mixing the Mehron red and yellow paints to create the orange. Now, it turned out that I did use way too much red, and I just kind of ended up going for kind of the reddish base in the end to give it some kind of depth, and then I went with yellow on top, but you're gonna see what I'm doing. So there I kind of traced the shape what I wanted to do. I started out the top, but then I was like, no, I'm gonna do that black. What am I doing? So decided to do the bottom bit. And I did go for a round type of face because I did want to make it seem like I was a pumpkin. So there you see me correcting the bit that I was doing, that I applied the orange paint in. And like I said, I just mixed 2 colors. I used a spatula and scraped off the colors, which is fine. You can use them, and a little bit goes a long way. I learned that you need to use a lot more yellow and a tiny bit of red because it's very, very intense. So if you're going to do this look and you're going to mix paints, that's the one thing I recommend. But yeah, I'm going in with the mouth, and right now it's all a little bit crazy. I think I should have done the orange first, but because like I said, I didn't know what I was doing or where I was going with it, I would have gone in with the orange first. So if you're going to recreate this look, go in with the orange first and then go in with the black, because there's absolutely no point to try to make your life a lot harder and take a lot longer on this look. But like I said, I was just going just inventing it as I went. Does that make any sense? So yeah, so you don't take ages if you do something similar to this. Do the lights first and then move on to the blacks, because then these paints, specifically the Mehron paints, they will blend. So if you just flake a little bit off with the same product, they will mix. So it's great for blending, not so great for when you need to do stenciled out bits. Maybe, I don't know, I would guess I could try experimenting with an oil-based paint for the black or something, so it wouldn't mix. But yeah, there you see me kind of struggling trying to get close to it. I used a very fine liner brush. This one is by BH Cosmetics, and I went off camera there for a second, but essentially that's what I'm doing. I'm trying to correct my mistakes because I kept on going over the black, and it blended onto the orange, and it started to look weird, and it was a bit of a mess. So yeah, wiping my hands there, just trying to get rid of most of the stuff and figuring out what I'm going to do next, how I'm going to shade it and everything, because I had the base colors down, but I just didn't know what I really wanted to do, especially with my eyes. I knew I wanted to use some kind of a neon pigment, but I didn't know what I wanted to do exactly, so I left those bare to see if I was going to apply all black or if I was just going to, add some color, which I ended up doing. But yeah, there I'm just kind of give it a little bit more shape, a little bit more depth, and like I said, I went way too red. I wanted it a little bit lighter, and I feel like I could have also used a little bit of white to lighten some parts, but I just didn't really think of it. My mom kind of told me this at the end, and she's like, oh, you could have used a little bit more white to lighten it, and I was like, oh yeah, I didn't think of it, but I was just knackered by the end of it. So maybe give that a shot if you try this. So yeah, I'm literally just grabbing the brush with the yellow paint and going on top of it. And then for this part, I grabbed the P. Louise base in the shade Rumor 0.5, And I just prep my eyes because I am going to do something colorful there. And there, as you see, I'm just using some like, you know, basic old stickers that you get from like any shops for Halloween. So I wanted to show you how like I would use them and what kind of look I would come up with them. I definitely think that the one thing for me is that they're way too big because I have a small face and they can't go on top of my lips. So I guess you'll have to just cut it so you could talk, but they could move. So it's a little bit like, you know, it's more of a showing piece, not really like a mobile longevity let's go party in this piece, because it will be a little bit uncomfortable. I'm just, you know, that little disclaimer because I couldn't move my mouth, couldn't talk. So yeah, for the eyes, I decided to do an ombre and use the Stargazer pigment. I think it's in the shade 2034. I'm not sure. It's the orange one, bright orange. And essentially I did that. I just blended some dark brown into a grey and into a black, well, the grey into the black for the edges. And then I started using a little bit of a darker orange to give the pigment some depth, and then started blending back and forth till I got the effect that I wanted. Now, I absolutely love the P. Louise base with these pigments. Oh my god. I had never gotten this effect in my life before, and I highly recommend, if you're going to use neon pigments, or like any pigment for that matter, use them with these bases, because that's the one thing that I can tell you, like, the pigments will look insane. So next I am just perfecting the outer corner. So I'm going in with like the reds to give a little bit of a more of a shape, and then I will go in again with the yellows to lighten some more, because I was like, it's still way too red, way too blended. So yeah, I'm just going out and at the bottom like of my chin to create kind of like a contour-ish effect whilst it's still like in a circular shape. I did apply the red at the bottom and kind of left it there. I didn't lighten it that much, but as you can tell there, I used a lot of yellow and tried to do it in a stripy motion, so it would give the kind of effect that like I had pumpkin lines, like, you know, the like the grooves the pumpkins have, but then I ended up blending it anyway. So I went in with another shadow later to blend that. So I'm showing you the process of like my creativity. Like, this is literally how it was going. I'm not like editing anything out. It's completely unedited. I'm just zooming and speeding this up. Zooming. So the only eyeshadow palettes that I really use for this look is the Warrior palette by Juvia's Place, the second one, and the Afrique palette. So yeah, what I was doing right there is with an angled liner brush, a thin brush, I just kind of traced like the pumpkin curves, grooves with a light warm brown shade, and then I went back in with a deeper brown and deepened the grooves, the curves. Now I think it would be a wise idea to also use white in the lighter places to give it a little bit more of a depth situation, but I was quite happy with how it ended up being and the final look. So yeah, it is just the like few little notes and things like that I would add and change after I've already done a look. So if you try it, they're my little tips. But yeah, I ended up sticking the like flapping pieces, I don't know if you see it from the like the mouth sparkly piece, with eyelash glue. So that's another tip. If you have these kind of like, you know, glue fantasy type of like sparkly stickers, I recommend gluing them down with eyelash glue, because they will not stay the whole day just with the glue that it comes with. Also, for the bottom lash line, I just went bare black. I used the BH Cosmetics Power Pencil in black. It's waterproof, so it sticks the whole day and night long. Trust me, you need an oil to remove this. It's quite difficult to just remove with water or rubbing your eyes, so I really recommend it for like, you know, watery eyes. And it's really nice. It's really smooth and creamy, so it's easy to apply, so it's not too drying or anything like that. So you see there that I'm just applying the floppy bits with the eyelash glue. The other bits I just left it as is, and then there I'm gonna do the hair parts. So I used the Schwarzkopf, the hairspray version, like, you know, with the glue, to just like stick my hair down as much as I could and wanted it to, and then I used a toothbrush to like, you know, stick my edges my baby hairs a little bit more, because I am wearing a wig and I don't have any wig cap, and like I don't really wear wigs, so I'm not a master at doing this. Please don't like criticize, but I essentially just did a French plait and did the wig bit. I just put it on really, and it was like a bit messy and I tried to even it out, but yeah, guys, thank you so much for watching this look, for watching this video. I hope you like this look. And I'll see you in my next video. I hope you really enjoy this. Tag me if you do something like this, and have fun on Halloween. I hope you have the most fun you can during this hard time. I'll see you in my next video. Bye!